Rightio. So I have not had any chance to get anything done this week. So yeah, all the same bits are all in the same places. I've still got little MZ crank to machine, and the little matchless, she's not progressed. She's still there because I've just been busy. So because I've not managed to do anything creative or make any progress anywhere, let's do something destructive. I know I said I wasn't going to take the thing apart yet, but let's pull the little Norton apart. Just see what's going on in there. I mean, the tank really needs repainting. Yeah, that's the good bit. My knees have worn through the paint, and of course on the other side, the fuel's taking it all off. Because of course the cap doesn't seal. I'm presuming it's this surface that isn't flat because there's loads of spring tension in there, and I've tried a couple of different seals. It just leaks all the time. So yeah, I figured that needs sanding off. So we might as well just take the top off the engine. See what's going on in there. Because it's definitely not happy. I mean, you can see she's chucking a bit of oil out. That last ride, it was definitely breathing heavy. It's chucked oil everywhere, and there's nice puddles underneath her. I have checked, that's not the primary, it's not the gearbox, that is just all the oil that's kicked out the breather onto the inside of the primary case and the associated areas, and it's just dripped down while it's been stood. So she was breathing somewhat heavy. Oh gosh, yeah, that, I don't know if you can see the level on there, but for the short ride it did last 80 miles. Yeah, that's used a lot of oil for 80 miles. And she's sort of gone from about there to about there. Not good. But, you know, we know she's knackered. So, I'll have the obligatory cup of tea, which I think is in front of the toolbox there. And we'll take her apart and see if we can find what's going on. I'm pretty sure it'd be what I said in the last video, but no, you never know. Could be something completely different. Who knows? Could be like the first piston that was in it. Could come out of pieces. Just being held together by happy thoughts and good luck. Right, I'll have my cup of tea and we'll make some more mess. Right, onward. Right, yeah, so we've got the rocker top off. It's down there. Push rod's down there. So far, I've been trying to use just the tools that I carry with me. So all the stuff that lives in that case, just to make sure I've got enough stuff to do big work at the side of the road. Anyway, this head's always been a little bit mucky in bits inside. It is a tired one, it's off a different engine. But look at the state of that on the exhaust side. Ugh. You see, unlike valve springs are nice and oily, the only black in there is the staining. But that side, exhaust springs are very, very dry, and there's a lot of carbon kicking about that wasn't there last time I lifted the top off. Who knows? Well, we know it's worn out. So, anyway, I shall keep going. Yes. Right, let's remove the cylinder head. Well, we've got the lid off. And on the front of the piston, there are some rather heavy wear marks. They're not end of the world, but there's some quite heavy ones there. But when we look at the back of the piston, ooh, yeah, that's had some hammer, hasn't it? Even around the top here, above the compression ring, it's cleaned all the carbon off and it's actually left a little bit of a sharp edge there. So that's been rubbing considerably. And I think we've had a bit of a partial seizure at some point. Quite possibly while laden up with luggage with a very strong headwind trying to go up steep hills in Scotland. You never know. But yeah, None of the rings are seized though, and the rings all sort of move about. There's a couple of spots with this top ring where it's not happy to go in, but it's not seized, so yeah, same with that middle one actually. Yeah, maybe a bit of debris in there from all this happening, or maybe just bird and edge, who knows. But I can't come to show you the state of the barrel because it's still got a cylinder head attached to it. Because yeah, one of the head nuts, these great big long things, has decided it's stuck. That's like 2 hands on that ratchet to make that thing move. Which is rather odd since, yeah, they were stuck last time I took the thing apart, and I cleaned everything up and with the tops of the holes just in case they'd been sort of burred over a little bit, greased everything up, and it was all a real nice slip fit. But for some reason that one's decided it's staying where it is. But I'll get it out and then we can have a look at the barrel. The conrod still feels okay. There's a little bit of side to side, tiny bit of twist on it, but straight up and down feels okay. I think it can have a new one though. I haven't got a clue about the history of this thing. I've not opened the bottom end up, I've not even had this cover off to check the cams or anything. And oh yeah, and we've got a lot of emulsified oil that had come down the pushrod tubes. That one was just as bad, but I wiped it off. But yeah, that's a bit... So we really should be going inside the rest of it regardless, just to see how bad that is. Anyway, for now, let's just see about getting this off. Alright, give us 5 minutes and I'll bring you back. Got the little blighter. Found a spare stud, threaded it in and then persuaded it from the bottom with the help of a Thor copperhide hammer. Anyway, that's nothing to do with why the thing's sticking together, because they don't go down deep enough to be a problem. But nevertheless, the barrel and the head are still firmly stuck together. I've just tried gently persuading them that they don't want to be companions anymore, and they seem to disagree with me. So I shall have to keep trying and hopefully come up with something to separate them without doing any more fin damage than what the thing's already got. Because this head's always had that fin bent up properly, and this barrel's always had that fin missing since I've owned them. So yeah, right, I shall continue. I'll turn the camera off because if it goes wrong there could be swerving. Anyway, onward. Well, there we go. I just needed a little bit more help from Thor there and it all came apart. Just carbon holding it together around the edge of here and the edge of here. But she has good and properly blown a head gasket. You can see it's blown across into that boltway and into that one, and it's actually split the gasket in two there. See if I can, there you go, and that one looks like it's about to split in two there, but hasn't quite done it yet. So if we look on here, you can see the line there, you see a carbon line there, another one there, and it's just starting to do it there. And you can see the same again on the head. There's one there, very faint one there, another one there, and then the worst bit is that one there. So that could have also been why that head nut didn't want to come out, if it's all carboned up in there. Yes, anyway, let's have a quick look, because I've not picked it up yet. That isn't bad. I was expecting a lot worse. So, yeah, because that's the back, that's the side, that's really bad on the piston. Flipping heck, I've taxed worse than that. Oh, there's a good lip form in there. That could just be carbon. Yeah, I dare say it is. I dare say that's just carbon, that lip. Yeah, she's not great, but she's not end of the world. Now. Yeah, a few more scores in it than there used to be, but I was expecting a little bit worse than that. What I have noticed though, is if we look at the exhaust valve, it's sort of sat somewhere near-ish. But the inlet is really deeply sunk into the seat. Now I did have to back these exhaust valve clearances off a few times over the period that cylinder head was on, which would indicate that the seats are, or the valves are backing up into the seat. I think we should drop them valves out and have a look. Okay. So, I haven't replaced or repaired the valve spring compressor yet. So, we're going to try and shock the valves out. So, it's on a couple of bits of wood. And there, lift the head up so the valves are clear of touching anything. And then we'll put that on. We won't do that one because there's a toolbox in the way. Yeah, we'll put the shaft on and I shall give it a little bit of persuasion with once again with the Thor, and hopefully it'll shock it and the collets will pop out. I'll tell you what, let's move it up to the toolbox. Is that still? Yeah, there we go. Right, try again. There we go. Just got to hit it properly and square. And all it's done to that is crack a bit of carbon off it. Otherwise it's fine. Oh, don't try it on modern engines. They're not strong enough. Guess how I found out. And there we go. Look at that, both collets. Flipping out. So that's the exhaust one. Oh dear. There we go, I don't know if you can see that. That's the guide moving up and down. The guide's come loose in the head. So we can safely say this head is now completely knackered, can't we? Or at least needs considerable work. Let's see if it'll... There we go. The carbon build-up between where the collets were is stopping the valve coming out the guide. Flipping heck, how did this thing keep running? Why wasn't it rattling like hell? I don't think we have to be delicate with it, do we? It's already knackered. Let's just follow it down with a punch and get the thing out. Well, was not expecting the valve guide to be loose. I don't know if you can see. I get that there. Look at that. It's not even pretending to stay in place, is it? I think that was just held in with good luck and happy thoughts, that one. Oh, it wobbles all over. Oh dear. That is worrying. Right. Anyway, let's see if we can't get this one out. the edge of firing. Yeah, try again. That's one colour. It's horrible when they don't go first time. You end up with them cockled like that. You tell them out of practice at it. There we go. So, that valve guide feels like it's still in. That's the seat retainer. Spring retainer, sorry. There we go. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Lovely. So, that inlet valve doesn't, at first glance anyway, doesn't look too bad. The seat looks relatively even all the way around. What kind of movement have we got in there? Maybe a bit excessive. Look at that. I'll get the other end of it. Yeah, that's got more than a couple of hour clearance, hasn't it? You see it this end. This is. I'll push the valve head hard against the seat. Yeah, she's still wobbling around. Tell you, if it was halfway down and it moved that much, I'd class that as acceptable on one of these, but pushed against the seat, it shouldn't be. Yeah, flipping out. Yeah, if we compare the valves, there we go. You see, exhaust one, it's got the taper and a nice ridge around the edge. Inlet one, that's nearly to a sharp point. So it's not the seat that's the problem, it's the valve. There's not a lot of it left. That's either done hundreds of thousands of miles, or it's just been lapped in a lot during its life. Anyway, worn out in a different way. Worn out, knackered. Should I knock that through? I mean, normally it's a git to get valve guides out, or it can be. It takes a bit of, sometimes takes a bit of brute force to make the things move, even after you've heated them up. But for looking at that one, I'm quite sure the only thing stopping that falling out is the carbon build-up on that end of it. Hee God, that wobbles everywhere. That is comical. Let's move you guys to have a look. So if I get my hand on there, right, so I'll push it all the way in and look at that. Flipping heck, I thought the ones in the old head were bad. How this thing is kept running, I do not know. She's a mighty steed. It's difficult to limp home in that condition. Flip. Right. Yeah. I don't think I've got a puller for these sprockets. I might have to borrow one. But anyway, we've found out what the problems are. She's done a bit of a partial seizure. I can't even say that word. She's done a bit of a partial seizure. Managed it. Way. That was not end of the world, but still, it's marked. And that valve is about knackered, and its corresponding guide is worn out. That valve's worn, but the stem rather than the valve head. And that guide doesn't want to stay in the cylinder head anymore. It's just the muck holding it in. sort of glad she ground to a halt the other day and I've got to take it apart. Yeah. Because that could have been catastrophic if I'd have kept going. When all these loose bits decided they'd finally had enough. Anyway, I think that'll do for now. Well, it's going to have to because it's all I've got time for. Right, so, once again, thank you very much for watching. And hopefully see you in the next one. Ta-da!